So welcome everybody. I'm Craig Peterson, the SUCC Cooperative Purchasing Director. And today we have one of our vendor partners with us, Centegix. We've received this contract through our national organization, AEPA, which is the Association of Educational Purchasing Agencies. So it has gone through a solicitation process, doesn't meet the federal requirements for any grants that you may submit on behalf of your school district. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jim, and he can introduce himself and his team and take the presentation from there. Jim?
Appreciate that, Craig. Yeah, so my name is Jim Frotcham. I'm the Regional Sales Director for the Midwest, based just south of y'all in Kansas City. And I'd like to actually introduce a couple folks on my end. Saul Ramon, he's our Chief Sales Officer. Mike oversees the U.S. For sales as well, reports to Saul. And I also have Ryan Frisco on the line, who is our technical lead, works a lot with integrations with our safety platform. So just kind of a quick agenda. What I am going to do today is go over our crisis alert, our Centegix safety platform, which consists of our crisis alert wearable panic alert system, our visitor management, and safety blueprint, which is our dynamic digital mapping solution. So I'll get right into it. So just a little bit about Centegix. We got our start in 2018. We were first to market with a wearable technology panic device to empower every single staff member at a school to call for help and get that help quickly. And so today we are the market leader in the space. And I would say as of 2 years ago, we were really primarily focused in three states in the Southeast: our home state of Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. And we had incredible success within those three states. For example, we are working with over 80% of the schools in the state of Georgia, over 50% of the schools in the state of Florida, and 24% in Alabama. And fast forward to today, we're proud to say that we're actually in 43 states nationwide. And I've been tasked with bringing this technology to the great state of Nebraska. So we work with school districts of all sizes. So from a one-site school, a charter school, to 3 of the top 10 largest school districts, and everything in between. So we really work with all different sizes of schools across the country. All right. So what problem are we trying to solve, right? So we developed this solution to allow all staff members at a school to quickly call for help and to get that help that they need. Because as we know, in a crisis situation, a quick response time saves time, which equals saving lives. And so when we work with the school district, every single staff member is going to get one of these panic alert badges. So we have 100% adoption rate. And again, it empowers every single staff member to call for help. It's always on them, it's accessible, and it's discreet. It is one badge with one button that will allow you to initiate 2 types of alerts. I'll get into that here in a minute. And we pride ourselves in this. We intentionally built this technology. It does not rely on Wi-Fi or cellular technology, which is key, because we work with a lot of schools who don't get cellular service inside their buildings. And if they're not connected to Wi-Fi, some of the other app-based solutions that they might be using at the school will not work. And so we intentionally developed our platform to not rely on Wi-Fi and cellular. And we also get down to the room level. So location accuracy is key with our solution. So when that alert is actually initiated through the badge, we know exactly where to go. So our responders at the school level know exactly where to go in that type of incident. So again, one badge allows you to initiate 2 types of alert. Staff alert is I need help. A more serious alert would be what we call a lockdown alert. This is a campus-wide alert. And I'm going to get into both of these alert types now. So again, these are the scenarios of a staff alert. These are the everyday incidents. This is 98% of the usage that we see across the United States. We deal with a lot of medical incidents. I can tell you as a dad, this technology is incredibly important to me. I have a son who's special needs. He has over 20 different medical diagnoses. One of those diagnoses is epilepsy. So it's important to me that my local school district has this technology installed, and I know that if my son were ever to have a serious seizure at the school, that any staff member can easily call for help by pressing this badge 3 times and get the help that he needs. I've been in those crisis situations with my son, and I know what it's like. And the ease of use of this system is really the power behind the badge, and it can't get any easier using this technology. So these are the situations: medical emergencies, seizures, choking, could be a cardiac arrest, school violence, could be a fight, could be an elopement, a runner. I just want to share one other quick story. Late last year, we had an incident that took place with the school district. That actually we just had finished installing them. We had them trained, and not within 24 hours, a staff member was actually having chest pains, and she was just walking into her office, and she sat down on her chair, and she knew she was having a heart attack. And she tried to reach out and she tried to dial her phone, but she couldn't see the numbers. It was fuzzy to her. So with her quick thinking, she was able to quickly initiate a staff alert, a 3-click press that notified the responders at the school level that she needed help. By the time the responders showed up, and this was probably 30, 45 seconds, somewhere in that range, they actually did not see her. She had actually fallen off of her chair, but they finally got to her. They grabbed the AED and saved her life. So within 24 hours of implementing and getting them trained and using the solution, we've already saved a life to that school district. So incredible value there. So that's the staff alert. So I'm going to kind of walk you through what happens with a staff alert, kind of the workflow. So when a staff alert is initiated, your responders at the school level are going to get an alert. They're going to get an alert in 2 different places. They're going to get an alert on their cell phone, and on if they're in front of their computer, it's also going to show up there. So they're going to know who actually initiated the alert and their precise location information. So we know that in this particular situation, RK, Rob Kent, initiated this alert, and it took place right out front of an office building. So at the school level, when we work with you, you're gonna tell us, okay, well, who's gonna respond to an event? So typically at a school level, it's gonna be a principal, assistant principal, it could be a nurse, an SRO. So those are the folks that are gonna get the alert and be able to respond to that alert. And even if their phone is on silent, we do have an override feature. So they're still going to be notified. It's sort of like an Amber Alert. So they're going to be notified of when that alert is taking place and where to go. So it's all about response time and helping that individual out when they need help. Okay, so I'm going to kind of switch gears. So again, one badge allows you to initiate 2 types of alert. I just covered the staff alert. Now I'm going to talk to you about what we call a campus-wide alert. So this is it could be a lockdown situation, could be a nearby incident, maybe a high-speed chase that ended right in front of a school building. You want to put the school in a lockdown. So in that situation, to activate a campus-wide alert, instead of actually pressing the badge 3 times, when we train, we actually say, keep on pressing. The magic number is 8, and there's a sequence of events that are triggered during a lockdown situation. I'll get into that here in the next slide, but we outside of an active shooter situation, we run into all kinds of different lockdown scenarios. A recent incident in the Midwest, we had a school district have a student walk into a bathroom, and that student walked into that bathroom and saw another a student loading a gun, and that student immediately ran out of the bathroom and saw the first administrator. That administrator was able to put the campus or school in a lockdown situation. So we don't know what would happen in that situation, but we know that by putting a school into a lockdown situation, that we probably made that situation the best scenario or best case for a positive result to that particular situation. So I'm going to switch gears here. So here's the workflow of a campus-wide lockdown alert. That staff member is going to continuously, repetitively press the button on that badge. Again, the magic number is 8. When we train, we don't say count to 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, just keep on pressing. What's going to happen is the alert beacons, the strobes are going to start flashing. So in a lockdown, that's typically red. Simultaneously, you're going to get an intercom message over your PA system, so we can set up each alert type with a customized auditory message. And then we do a screen takeover, so every single PC and Mac on the network, they're going to get a customized a message. Hey, we're in a lockdown situation, get behind a door, lights out, out of sight, whatever that message is, it's customizable by alert type. And we're going to notify not only your school responder team, your school response team, but also your district-wide response team as well. And the reason why we want to do that too is you might have a campus where there's a high school, a middle school, and an elementary all on one campus. So if there is a serious lockdown situation, you can make that call to put those other schools on lockdown protocols as well. Also, all this is happening simultaneously in real time. In addition to notifying your school responders, we're also going to notify a local law enforcement. So we have a 911 integration. They have access to our mapping technology if they like. And so think about a campus where an incident is taking place. They know exactly where to go. They're not having to sweep floors and figure out where the incident is taking place. They know exactly where to go. Joshua, you had a question?
Yeah, actually, I have a series of questions. I apologize. I do have to go to another meeting here shortly. But I'm guessing you can quickly answer these 3 questions. Number 1, what sort of connectivity services are going to these badges if you're not using Wi-Fi or cellular? Are you utilizing UF, just old radio technology, VHF? Or
Yeah,
what are you utilizing to connect these badges?
Yeah, great question. It uses a combination of Bluetooth Low Energy and a LoRa WAN. So Ryan,
And what? I'm sorry?
in LoRa WAN, which is a wide area network protocol. It's an IoT platform that all these devices sort of talk to each other. And Ryan Frisco on the line, he could probably explain it a lot better than I can. So Ryan, if you want to field that question, that would be great.
Yeah, that LoRaWAN technology, it's running at a 915 megahertz frequency. And then the badges are communicating with the locating devices via Bluetooth. They're not going to be discoverable. It's going to be on a 2.4 gigahertz.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you for that. And do these little staff badges, I'm guessing they have some sort of battery, or how are they charged? How do they function and work? Or is it just like cool motion that they just kind of self-charge themselves? Some cool technology that we don't know of? Or
they are battery operated. So typical life expectancy of the badge is about 3 years. It is a bell curve. Some badges will last 5 years. Another badge might last a year and a half. So you have the availability within their system to know when the badge health of each individual person on campus. So you actually get a report, but there's also within our platform, our software, okay, out of these 300 employees, these are the ones that we need to address. And you can replace the badges. You have the capability of actually replacing the batteries yourself, or you can just send them to Centegix and we'll replace the batteries for you. We'll provide an overage of badges to you. And it's very easy to deactivate a badge and reassign a badge to any staff member.
Okay, and then the next question is, obviously, just looking at the diagram that's on the screen right now, there's some infrastructure work. So I guess the overall question is, do you try and utilize existing paging and alert systems that a school district may have, or is this like, hey, we got to go into your facility and we got to install our own communication as far as speakers and paging units, alert beacons, and all these other things, and to be on your system, so to speak? All right, what methodology is your product deployed?
Ryan, you want to field that?
Yep, I can do that. Yeah. So this is all hardware as a service. We'll send our team to install our locating devices. Like the badges, they're all battery operated. So there's no running cables for any of those devices that we put in every classroom, hallway, room, exterior of the campus.
Right.
We monitor those. When it comes to the paging, we're going to integrate into your existing intercom paging system at each site, which could be with a physical integration device with a contact closure, and a lot of times through an API integration.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And do you have a general cost per classroom? Like if a school district was to come to you and say, hey, I have 40 classrooms, can I get a price for it? Or is that something you just kind of go, obviously it's probably more like you need to see the type of school, what you're working with, but is there kind of like an overall cost that we could take away?
Yes. So it is hardware and software as a service, as Ryan mentioned. So we'll take a look at your school. It's a minimum 3-year commitment, but it's essentially $8,000 per school site per year, and then there's some one-time fees like the installation, the implementation training. So we can take a look at your school and have that conversation and get you a price for sure.
Well, that's helpful to just know that, that, and I'm guessing that's all the software renewals and whatnot, just kind of starting around is $8,000 per school, correct? Per year.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I do apologize that I have to bounce off of here, but very informative, very cool. And I'm so glad that the state of Nebraska, as I am new to Nebraska, is looking at these sort of services to further protect our students and our staff members. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so here's an example of that desktop takeover.
Immediately lock your doors. Turn off the lights. Stay out of sight. This is a lockdown alert. Immediately lock your doors. Turn off the lights. Stay out of sight.
So this is simulating the screen takeover on every PC and Mac. We can work with digital signage as well through our integration, and then also you hear that auditory message through the intercom system. Okay, so what other types of alerts can you use this platform for? We can set up any type of alert type within our platform. And so off to the left, you'll see, some examples of those different alert types. Each alert type can have a corresponding intercom message and a corresponding message on the desktop takeover on the computer there. So we'll work with your existing safety protocols as well, whether it's I Love You Guys Foundation or something else. So we'll set all that up for you and get it up and running there. Okay, so data. So after an alert is actually initiated, we want to make sure that we close out the alert. And the reason why we want to close out that alert is to provide actionable data. So you're going to see off to the right-hand side, just kind of a sample. Okay, well, this was a medical. So let's close this out, the alert. As soon as that data, or as soon as you close that alert, that data is available within our platform. and you can slice and dice this data in many different ways. You can get information by alert type. You can break the data down by weekly, by monthly, yearly, however you want to slice and dice that data. And this data is really important to be able to align your resources. And Dr. Gago over at Olathe Public Schools, kind of said it best. It allows our district to look at the data and to provide resources of where we need to where we need to realign those resources to support all the schools. So that's available within the platform there. We kind of touched on the actual technology itself. Here are the components of the system. We have the gateway, the badge itself, the strobes, and a locating beacon. Again, this technology is outside of the gateway device. Everything is completely wireless, no cabling involved, and it runs on a battery. The gateway device, which is the main communication hub, does require a network drop. So a Cat6 cable, PoE, a drop. Either we can handle that, Centegix, you can work with a local vendor, or if you have staff that want to do that yourself, the gateway installation and drop, very simple and straightforward. They can handle that too. So the badge itself, again, provided every single employee has a multi-year battery, replaceable battery as well. Again, you don't have to worry about if the badge you're going to get if your badge battery is getting low. We're going to provide you with the actual badge health of each device on the system. And we're going to install a strobe in every single classroom and down the hallway. That's how we get down to the room level of where that incident is taking place. And in a lockdown situation, that strobe is actually going to flash a certain color depending on the actual incident. And we're also going to place these, what we call locating beacon, sort of similar to a strobe without the actual flashing. So we're going to stick a locating beacon. We install these typically out in a parking lot, maybe a baseball diamond, a press box. So by placing these locating beacons out in the exterior of the campus, we're providing a little bit more granularity of where that incident is taking place outside. So that's kind of a high-level overview of the technology components. Any questions? Any other questions so far?
What type of agent does the PCs and Macs require to be installed?
An MSI for a PC or a PKG for a Mac.
Perfect.
Good question. And so as Ryan had discussed, it runs off of Bluetooth, low energy, non-discoverable Bluetooth, and a LoRa technology. And all of these devices communicate with each other. And that's just really how those are the components of the system. So who are we working with? As I mentioned in the beginning, we're working with school districts of all sizes. I included some schools in Kansas and Missouri here. Some names you might be familiar with. So just wanted to kind of give you an overview of a sampling of who we're actually working with. And kind of in summary, again, our wearable technology, it is one badge that allows you to activate 2 different types of alerts. Location accuracy is key. We know exactly, down to the room level of where that incident is taking place. It's immediate notification, so your responders know exactly where to go. And again, we're not relying on Wi-Fi or cellular technology. And you do get that audio and visual notification through the intercom integration and through the screen takeover. And we are covering your entire your campus, not just the interior, but the exterior. So we're sort of geofencing your total campus property and making sure that if needed to initiate an alert, you can do that anywhere on your campus. As I mentioned earlier, some of the use cases for a staff alert, we have a lot of life-saving stories that I'm happy to share with you. This is just one example of many of Mia Santiago at Dunbar. She had a cardiac event, and by using this technology, by being able to activate an alert, we saved Mia's life. We have a great YouTube story on this as well. So I'm happy to share that with you and all of our life-saving stories. Okay, so I'm going to actually switch gears real quick. So we just covered Crisis Alert. That's the wearable technology, panic alert system. Also within our safety platform, you do have access to our core visitor management for screening your visitors. On campus, we can do all the sexual offender checks, be able to print labels for your visitors. So that's just, you know, our visitor management system. We kind of, we also have an enhanced visitor management available as well. And the enhanced visitor management allows, it leverages our mapping technology that we already developed for Crisis Alert. And it allows you to actually locate your visitors of where they're at on your school grounds in real time. And so what we do is, instead of providing the alert badge, we're going to provide a different badge, a visitor badge. And you're going to hand out that visitor badge to your visitors, and you can see where those visitors are on your campus at all times. So these visitors will move around. You can set up areas, zones. Maybe you don't want a visitor in this particular zone and get a notification. So there's some things you can do with that. And you can also set up time parameters. So if a particular visitor is only supposed to be here for an hour and it's over an hour, that can alert you as well. Other things that you can use this for tracking time. So if you have let's say a contractor, a plumber who comes on campus, they send you an invoice for 3 hours, and we know that they weren't there for 3 hours. You can actually track how long they've been on campus. So there's some other things you can use with this visitor management system. We do work with various SIS systems to integrate with both the core and enhanced visitor management. So that is that, and we're happy to, I'm happy to kind of dive further on the visitor management if you ever want to have a one-on-one demo. So lastly, I'm going to talk about our mapping technology, Safety Blueprint. So Safety Blueprint is our digital mapping solution. So again, across the Centegix safety platform, Safety Blueprint, we're leveraging that mapping technology to be able to keep track of all of your assets. And those assets can be placed on your school maps. So during an event, you know exactly where all your AEDs are at. Maybe there's a fire, you want to know where your fire extinguishers and so forth. So this is a single source of truth for asset management. It keeps track of expiration dates as well. There's reporting available with it. Again, these maps can be updated if you need to. And that's really kind of Safety Blueprint. Here's an example of how you can make these assets come alive on your maps. So you can take a picture, with your cell phone or another device, and be able to tag that the AED is in outside of room 114. And so you can keep track of all these assets on the maps and within our digital mapping solution, Safety Blueprint. So that is that. Craig, I really appreciate you taking the time to set all this up. And for those of you who got an opportunity to sit in on this presentation, again, the $10 million grant available through the state of Nebraska, our Centegix platform qualifies for that money. And so I'm happy to work with you directly on crafting a proposal, and I'd be happy to set up have a call and set up any type of demo for your school, whether that's online or on site. again, appreciate everyone's time, and that's all I have today. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Jim's contact information is in our marketplace, so if you're needing to access that for any reason, if you log into the ESUCC marketplace, click on the Centegix logo within the marketplace. Jim's information will be listed there, so contact information, or you can email myself at craig.peterson@esucc.org. I guess I do have one question on the Bluetooth technology. Do you run into any issues with interference of other technologies within a building, say microwaves, any other radio technology, and then also the distance of Bluetooth capabilities, or how do you address those?
Ryan, you want to field that?
Yeah, as far as interference, no issues. Our devices are only going to communicate with each other. They're encoded that way. Your second question was it distance related? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, so as we install, we're installing in a way where we're going to make sure we have full coverage inside and outside the campus. How far can these go? I'm not going to give you a number, but we're talking, especially outside, uninhibited, we're talking hundreds of feet, if not more. So.
And I was just thinking of, a crow's nest that may be several blocks away. There may have to be some technology in between that relays that. Is that correct?
Right. So there's going to be, while we guarantee coverage of the entire campus, there's going to be a bit of spillover at times, most likely out off the campus, where it'll reach a little bit further from time to time, but it's going to pick up the nearest locating device on that campus that's been installed, and that's what's reported to the response team.
Perfect. Well, that's all the questions I have, so I appreciate everybody and your team, Jim. We'll get this recording out to our schools, and also I can shoot it over to you if you want.